everybody. Yoko 007 here, bringing you another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. In today's game, we've got the 9-17 Colorado Rockies taking on the 10-17 San Francisco Giants. This is game 2 of a 3-game series between the Rockies and the Giants. Rockies won game 1. They're looking to see if they can win the series today, or do the Giants come back to tie it up? We'll find out in 9 innings time. And let's take a look at the starting defense for the Colorado Rockies. Leading off the center fielder, Willie Travers. Batting second, the first baseman, Todd Hilton. Batting third, the left fielder, Matt Holliday. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the third baseman, Garrett Atkins. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Brad Hallpine. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Clint Barnes. Batting eighth, the catcher, Yorick Torreba. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Aaron Cook. On the mound for the Giants, it is Tim Lincecum. He'll come in today's game with a starting ERA of a 2.57. He's got 1 win, 2 wins, and 1 loss. He's pitched 28 innings, allowed 21 hits, 30 strikeouts, and 10 walks. We're here at AT&T Park, which is neutral, nothing for strikeouts, nothing for walks, and nothing for home runs. And with that, Willie Travers makes his way up into the batter's box. Home plate umpire dusts it off, and we're ready for the first pitch. He's batting a .241. And that'll be a 4-4. Column 4, row 4. We're going to start this game off with the @ symbol. Now, when the @ symbol comes up as a result on the pitcher card, you resolve the play using the ballpark card. So we're going to go to AT&T Park for this play, and that is going to be a 6-5, column 6, row 5, and that is a blank. So we're already starting this game off with a blank on the ballpark card, and that is a rare play. There were 3 blanks on every ballpark card. If one of them happens to be a result, you'll resolve it as a rare play. And let's see what the rare play says here today. It's a slow roll to the shortstop, who possibly bobbles the ball and throws it wild to first. Resolved by rolling against the shortstop's error rating. Rating for first for the bobble, then for the float for the throw. No error by Brian Bocock, so 1 away. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the San Francisco Giants. We've got Lewis out there in left field. Wynn will be in center. Velez will be on right. Going around the horn, we've got Castello on third. Bocock will be at short. Durham's on second. Broker will be on first. Molan will be behind the plate, and Lincecum will be on mound. Todd Hilton batting a .277. And that'll be a 5-6. Column 5, row 6. That'll be a wild pitch. Nobody is on, so we're just going to roll for the batter. And that'll be a 4-3. Column 4, row 3. That'll be a fly ball back there to Velez. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. Matt Holliday up. Holliday batting a .306. And that'll be a 3-5, column 3, row 5, at the ballpark. And that'll be a 6-1, column 6, row 1, and that'll be a ground ball to the shortstop to Bocock. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on as the Giants retire the Rockies in order. It's 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the first. And here is the starting lineup for the San Francisco Giants. Leading off the left fielder, Fred Lewis. Batting second, the right fielder, Eugenio Valles. Batting third, the second baseman, Ray Durham. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the catcher, Benji Molan. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Randy Wynn. Batting sixth, the first baseman, John Barokel. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Jose Castillo. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Brian Bocock. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Tim Lincecum. On the mound for the Rockies, it is Aaron Cook. Cook will come in today's game with a starting ERA of 3.86. 1 win and 1 loss. He's pitched 35 innings, allowed 36 hits, 13 strikeouts, and 8 walks. Fred Lewis batting a .234. And that'll be a 2-1, column 2, row 1, home run chance on a 1-12. The 4 is in range. It needs to be an 8 or less. That's a 14. Nothing happening there on that. 1-5, column 1, row 5. That is a split result. Now, a split result on the batter card. You're going to take a look at the pitcher card. And in this case, Aaron Cook is a right-handed pitcher. So on the batter card, we will look to the right-handed side of the slash, and that would be a ground ball down the first baseline to Hilton. He'll make the play and tag the base. 1 away, and let's take a look at the starting defense for the Colorado Rockies. We've got Holiday out there in left field. Travis will be in center. Holpie will be at right. Going around the horn, we've got Atkins on third. Tolutsky will be at short. Barnes on second. Hilton will be at first. Torreba will be behind the plate, and Cook will be on the mound. Eugenio Valles batting a .279. And that'll be a 2-4, column 2, row 4. That is a blank. And that'll be a 5-5, column 5, row 5. That'll be a ground ball to the shortstop, to Tolutsky. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. Ray Durham up. Durham batting a .296. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 1-6, column 1, row 6. That will be a walk. On a 1-13, the 10 is in range, and that'll be good for a walk. So Durham will trot on down to first. And with that, that'll bring up Benji Molan. He's batting a 176. Strategy roll is a 12. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 6-6, column 6, row 6, possible error on a throw. And that'll be a 2-2, column 2, row 2, and that'll be a fly ball back there to Holpie. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on for the Giants. After 1, it's tied up at 0. We go to the top of the second. Garrett Atkins, Brad Holpie, and Troy Tolutsky due up for the Rockies. Garrett Atkins batting a .375. And that'll be a 1-2, column 1, row 2. Strikeout plus. Now, on a strikeout plus, we add 10 to the strikeout range. That is an 18. So it's a 1-18. That is a 14. Struck him out looking. And that'll put 1 away. Brad Holpie batting a .312. And that'll be a 6-4. Column 6, row 4. That'll be good for a walk. On a 1-15, that is a 9. And that'll be good for a walk. So they walk Holpie, and that's going to bring up Troy Tolutsky. Tolutsky batting a 237, and here is the pitch. By the way, strategy roll is an 11. They're going to stand pat there. And that'll be a 1-2, column 1, row 2. That is a strikeout plus. By the way, the infield is a double play depth. On a 1 to 18, that is a 2. Struck him out. All right, 2 away, and that's going to bring up Clint Barnes. Barnes batting a 186. Strategy roll is a 10, so the Rockies are still going to stand pat. The infield back to normal depth, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 1-1, column 1, row 1. That is a strikeout on a 1 to 10. The 3 in range. Struck him out. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, but the Rockies do leave one stranded. We go to the bottom of the second. Randy Winn, John Brokaw, and Jose Castillo due up for the Giants. Randy Winn batting a 452. And that'll be a 1-1. Column 1, row 1. That is a blank. And that'll be a 5-4. Column 5, row 4. And that'll be a ground ball to second base. Barnes will make the catch there. Throws it over to Hilton for out number 1. John Brokaw batting a 217. And that'll be a 1-3. Column 1, row 3. That is a blank. And that'll be a 6-2, 6-3, sorry, column 6, row 3. Double star 2, ground ball down the third baseline to Atkins. Atkins makes the catch, quickly throws it to Hilton. And that'll be out number 2. Jose Castillo batting a 264. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 2-5, column 2, row 5. That is a blank. And that'll be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. It's a ground ball up the middle. Cook will get it, throw it over to Hilton. And out number 3. And that is out number 3. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on. After 2, we're still tied at 0. We go to the top of the third. Yorvik Torreba, Aaron Cook, and Roy Travers due up for the Rockies. Torreba batting a 159. And that'll be a 3-1, column 3, row 1. That is a strikeout on a 1 to 11. The 4 in range. Struck him out. Struck him out, and that'll put 1 away, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Aaron Cook. Cook batting a 143. And that'll be a 4-1, column 4, row 1. Home run chance on a 1 to 16. The 10 is in range. Cook doesn't hit a home run, so that's a 0. And that'll be a 2-1, column 2, row 1. That'll be a ground ball to the shortstop to Bocock. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. Top of the order, Willie Travers, who is 0 for 1 today. And the pitch. And that'll be a 6-4, column 6, row 4. That'll be a walk. On a 1 to 10, the 17 is too high. And that'll be a 3-4, column 3, row 4. Fly ball back there to Velez. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on as the Rockies are retired in order. We go to the bottom of the third. Brian Bocock, Tim Lincomb, and Fred Lewis due up for the Giants. Brian Bocock batting a 177. And that'll be a 5-3, column 5, row 3. That is a wild pitch. Nobody is on, so we're going to roll for the batter. And that'll be a 4-2, column 4, row 2. Ground ball down the first baseline to Hilton. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Tim Lincomb batting an 091. And that'll be a 4-4, column 4, row 4. That is a strikeout On a 1 to 24, that is a 14. Struck him out. And that is the first strikeout of the game for Aaron Cook. We go to the top of the order. Fred Lewis, 0 for 1, and here is the pitch. And that'd be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. That is a blank. And that'd be a 2-6, column 2, row 6, and that'd be good for a base hit down the third baseline past Atkins. So Lewis will get on, keeps the inning alive. And with that, a strategy roll is a 10 for the Giants. The Giants are going to stand pat on that. Eugenio Valles is 0 for 1. And the pitch. And that'll be a 2-3, column 2, row 3. That is a blank. And that'd be a 3-3, column 3, row 3, fly ball back there to Hallby. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on for the Giants. After 3, we're still tied at 0. We go to the top of the 4th. Todd Hilton, Matt Holliday, and Garrett Atkins due up for the Rockies. Todd Hilton, 0 for 1. And that'd be a 2-2, column 2, row 2. That is a walk. On a 1 to 16, the 3 is in range, and that'll be good for a walk. That's the second walk allowed by Tin Lincomb. So runner on first, strategy roll is a 2. The infield is at double play depth. And when the infield goes to double play depth, ranges are a -1. Ground double play rating gets a +1. And the base run rating on third is a -1. Matt Holliday, 0 for 1. Runner on first with no outs. And the pitch. And that'll be a 2-5, column 2, row 5. That is a walk plus. Now, on a walk plus, we add 10 to the walk range, same as a strikeout plus. And that'll be a 1 to 24. That is an 8, and that'll be good for a walk. So runners on first and second, no outs. Strategy roll is a 10. Rockies are going to stand pat. The infield still at double play depth. And here is Garrett Atkins, who is 0 for 1. Struck out his last time up at bat. And that'd be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. Strikeout plus. On a 1 to 18, the 13 is in range. Struck him out. Brad Hallby walked his last time up. Strategy roll is a 2, 1 out. Runners on first and second. And that'll be a 2-4, column 2, row 4. Strikeout plus. On a 1 to 24, that is a 4. It struck him out looking. So 2 away. Strategy roll is a 20. Anytime a 20 comes up on the strategy die, it is a pickoff attempt. On a 1 to 3, it's a balk. It's a 4, nothing happens. And that'll be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. Wild pitch. On a 1 to 15, it's a wild pitch. 16 to 18, it's a passed ball. It's a 10, it's a wild pitch. And that'll move the runners up to second and third. And that'll be a 2-2, column 2, row 2, ground ball to Bocock. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and the Rockies do leave 2 stranded. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Ray Durham, Benji Merlon, and Randy Wynn due up for the Giants. Ray Durham walked his last time up, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 2-6, column 2, row 6. It's a range plate. Now, on a range plate, we check the first number of the position. And whose range are we checking? And that'll be a 6-4, column 6, row 4. It's a base hit to Hall Pie. His range is on a 1-2. It's a 4. Hall Pie can't make the catch. And with that, Durham will lead up with a base hit. Hall Pie is 3 for 9 on his range plays. Benji Milan is 0 for 1. Strategy roll is a 4. That'd be a hit and run attempt. So on a hit and run, all ground double play ratings get a -2. All base run ratings get a +2. All home run and walk rates for the batter are cut in half and round those down. All lineouts are double plays with the exception of the error on a throw, and if the batter strikes out, we'll resolve the play like a steal. Benji 0 for 1, runner on first. The infield is at double play depth, and that'll be a 4-4, column 4, row 4. That is a strikeout on a 1-4. The 15 is too high. That'll be a 3-4, column 3, row 4, fly ball back there. Travers runs back, makes the catch and puts one away. Randy Wynn is 0 for 1. Strategy roll 18, the infield still at double play depth. And that'll be a 6-4, column 6, row 4. That is a strikeout on a 1-9. The 12 is too high. And that'll be a 3-6, column 3, row 6, fly ball back there once again to Travers. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. John Brokaw, 0 for 1, strategy roll 3, and here is the pitch. That'll be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. That is a walk on a 1-6. The 19 is too high. That'll be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. Ground ball up the middle to Cook. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. After 4, we're still scoreless. We go to the top of the 5th. It's going to be Clint Barnes, Jorvit Torreba, and Aaron Cook due up for the Rockies. Clint Barnes is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And that'll be a 4-1, column 4, row 1. Home run chance on a 1-16. The 5 is in range. So past the first part of the check. Now, Barnes needs to roll a 6 or less. It's a 15, too high. So 3-5, column 3, row 5, and that'll be a fly ball back there. Win will make the catch at the wall. And that puts 1 away. Jorvit Torreba is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 3-2, column 3, row 2. That is a strikeout on a 1-11. The 3 is in range. Struck him out! So 2 up, 2 down, and that's going to bring up Aaron Cook. Cook is 0 for 1. And that'll be a 2-5, column 2, row 5. That'll be a walk plus. On a 1-14, the 7 is in range, and that'll be good for a walk. But by the way, when runners are on base and we have 2 outs, we add a +1 to the base run rating. Strategy rolls a 17. Rockies are going to stand pat. We go to the top of the order, Willie Travers, who is 0 for 2. Travers, 6-6, column 6, row 6. It's a wild pitch. It's a 20, nothing happens. And that'll be a 3-3, column 3, row 3. Fly ball back there to Valquez. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, and 1 left on for the Rockies. Go to the bottom of the 5th. Jose Castillo, Brian Bocock, and Tim Lincomb due up for the Giants. Jose Castillo is 0 for 1, and the pitch. And that'll be a 1-6, column 1, row 6. That is a walk on a 1-6-3 in range. And with that, Castillo will trot on down to first. That is his second walk allowed in this game. Strategy roll is a 2 for the Giants. They are going to stand pat. The infield is at double play depth. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 3-4, column 3, row 4. That is a split result off of the picture card. Now, split result off the picture card, we do take a look at the batter. And Brian Bocock is a right-handed batter, so we're going to look to the right-handed side of the slash. And that is a blank. 5-1, column 5, row 1. Pop up down the third baseline. Atkins will get it. And that'll be out number 1. Infield at double play depth. Strategy roll is a 4. Tin Lin come up. 0 for 1, struck out his last time up. And that'll be a 1-6, column 1, row 6. And that'll be good for a walk. On a 1-8, the 2 is in range. And that is a walk. We go to the top of the order. Fred Lewis, who is 0 for 2. Strategy roll 7, and here's the pitch. Giants are going to stand pat, and that'll be a 3-4, column 3, row 4. That is a strikeout on a 1-13, the 20 too high. And that'll be a 2-4, column 2, row 4. That'll be a ground ball to second base to Barnes. He'll make the catch. We'll check for double play rating. And remember, when the infield is at double play, it's a +1 to the ground double play rating. That is makes it a 3. Nothing from the pitcher and nothing from the pivot. So when balls are hit to G4 to second base, the shortstop is the pivot. So Talutsky adds nothing. That makes it a +3. Now we'll take 1d6, roll it against the ground double play rating. The die roll is a 5, and the rule says if the roll is greater than the runner on first, it's a force out at second. So Castillo will advance to third. Lincomb is forced out, and Lewis will get on by fielder's choice. So they couldn't turn the double play. Instead, we've got runners on the corners, 2 outs. And remember, with 2 outs, we do add a +1 to the base run rating. Strategy roll is an 11, and Eugenio Velez is up. He's 0 for 2, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 1-2, column 1, row 2. That is a blank. And that'll be a 3-2, column 3, row 2. Ground ball up the middle to Cook. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors. The Giants do leave 2 stranded. After 5, we're tied at 0. We go to the top of the 6th. Todd Hilton, Matt Holliday, and Garrett Atkins due up for the Rockies. And we've got ourselves a pitching duel here at AT&T Park. Todd Hilton 0 for 1 with a walk. And that'll be a 3-3, column 3, row 3, double question mark, single on a 1-6. The 15 is too high. When a double question mark comes up, when the pitcher is not tired, you do still resolve it. And that'll be a 5-2, column 5, row 2, and that'll be a pop-up down the third baseline to Brokaw. First baseline, Brokaw will make the catch. And that puts 1 away. Matt Holliday is 0 for 1 with a walk. 2-2, column 2, row 2. That is a walk on a 1 to 14 to 7 in range, and that'll be good for a walk. So Holiday is walked. It's going to be a hit and run as Garrett Atkins comes up. And remember, for the hit and run, ground double play is get a -2. Base run ratings get a +2. Walk and home runs are cut in half. Wideouts are double plays, with the exception of the error on a throw. And should Atkins strike out, we'll resolve that as a steal. And that'll be a 6-4, column 6, row 4. That is a walk. On a 1, the 14 is too high. And that'll be a 1-2, column 1, row 2. Line drive to Castelo. And the runner is doubled up, and that's going to be a double play. And they turn the double play to get out of the inning. No runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on for the Rockies. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Ray Dorham, Benji Molon, and Randy Wynn due up for the Giants. Ray Dorham is 0 for 1 with a walk. And here is the pitch. By the way, Aaron Cook can face 8 more batters before he is considered tired. And that'll be a 2-3, column 2, row 3. That is a blank. And that'll be a 6-2, column 6, row 2. And that'll be a base hit to Tulutsky. And with that, Ray Dorham is on with a base hit. Benji Molon is 0 for 2. Strategy roll is a 15. The Giants are going to stand pat the infield at double play. And that'll be a 4-6, column 4, row 6. That is a strikeout on a 1 to 4. That is a 1. Struck him out. Struck him out, and that'll put 1 away. Strategy roll is a 10. Randy Wynn is up. He is 0 for 2. Infield still at double play depth, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 9, the 12 is too high. And that'll be a 2-5, column 2, row 5. Fly ball back there to Travers. He'll make the catch. Puts 2 away. John Brokaw is up. He is 0 for 2, and here is the pitch. Strategy roll, by the way, is a 2. Giants are going to stand pat for 5. Column 4, row 5. Possible error on a ground ball. And that'll be a 1-3, column 1, row 3. Line drive to Barnes. Will make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on for the Giants. After 6, we're still tied at nothing. You go to the top of the 7th. Brad Hallpie, Troy Tulutsky, and Clint Barnes due up for the Rockies. Tim Lincomb can face 6 more batters before he is considered tired. Brad Hallpie is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. And that'll be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. Wild pitch, nobody is on, so we'll roll for Hallpie. And that'll be a 1-3, column 1, row 3. Fly ball back there to Lewis. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Troy Tulutsky is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And that'll be a 5-5, column 5, row 5. That is a range play. Whose range are we checking? And that'll be a 4-4, column 4, row 4, double star 6. It's a fly ball back there to Valcrest. His range is on a 1 to 3. That is a 4. And on a 1 to 4, we're going to roll 1d20 against that. It's a 3. That's a double. And Troy will get on with a double. Pickoff attempt on a 1-3. It's a balk. It's a 15. Nothing happens. And that'll be a 6-3, column 6, row 3. That is a blank. And that'll be a 5-5, column 5, row 5. Ground ball to Bocock. He'll make the catch. Throw it over to Brokel. And the out is at first. And runners will advance and balls hit to the shortstop or pitcher if the BR of the runner beats the 1D6. That is a 5. That is a 3. He will hold. So 2 outs, and that'll bring up Jorvik Torreba, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Strategy roll is a 12. And that'll be a 5-5, column 5, row 5. That is a range play. Whose range are we checking? That'll be a 3-3, column 3, row 3. Ground ball down the third baseline to Castro. His range is on a 1-3. It's a 1. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side and sing, "Take me out to the ball game." So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Rockies leave 1 stranded. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Jose Castro, Brian Bocock, and Tin Lincomb due up for the Giants. Taking a look at the box score, after 6.5 have been played here at AT&T Park, and we've been scoreless. No runs, 1 hit for the Rockies. No runs and 3 hits for the Giants. We go to the bottom of the 7th, and it's the bottom of the order, and Aaron Cook will go back out there on the mound. Jose Castro is 0 for 1 with a walk. Aaron Cook back out there on the mound. And that'll be a 4-5, column 4, row 5. Possible error on a ground ball. And that'll be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. Base hit to Travers. Error range for Travers is on a 1-5. It's a 20. No error there. So Jose is on with a base hit. And that'll bring up Brian Bocock, 0 for 2. Strategy roll 17. The Giants are going to stand pat. And the pitch, 6-5, column 6, row 5. That is a blank. And that'll be a 1-3, column 1, row 3. It's a ground ball to first base. Hilton will make the catch. We'll check for double play, 0. The pivot when the ball is hit to first base. The pivot is the shortstop, so Tulowitzki will be the pivot there. Nothing from the pivot. It's a 3. The die roll is a 2. It's in range. It's a 3-6-3 double play. And with that, Tinlin come up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. And that'll be a 6-3, column 6, row 3. That is a blank. And that'll be a 6-1, column 6, row 1. That's good for a base hit. So with that, Lincomb is on. We go to the top of the order. Fred Lewis is 1 for 3 in the pitch. By the way, strategy roll is a 13. And that'll be a 1-2, column 1, row 2. That is a blank. And that'll be a 6-4, column 6, row 4. Ground ball down the first baseline to Hilton. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 2 hits, and no errors, and 1 left on for the Giants after 7. We're tied at 0. Go to the top of the 8th. It's Aaron Cook, Willie Travers, and Matt Holliday due up. Cook, King Lincomb. They are going to retire. Lincomb not going back out there on the mound to start this inning. And they are going to bring in Kenichi Yabu. Yabu will come into the game with a 3.0 ERA. And with that, Aaron Cook. Cook not going to take the hit here. And they are going to bring in Ian Stewart. So Ian Stewart going to take the hit here. And here it Yabu. No wins, no losses. He's pitched 6 innings, allowed 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Take a look at the stats here for Tim Lincomb. He went 7 innings, allowed 1 hit, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 1 wild pitch. ERA 2.06. And with that, it'll be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. That is a blank. And that'll be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. Fly ball back there to win. Out number 1, we go to the top of the order. Willie Travers is 0 for 3. Travers going to take the hit. And that'll be a 1-2, column 1, row 2. That is a double star. Now, double star off the picture card. If you're playing the physical cards and dice game, you're going to roll 1d6, and that'll determine what the auto out is. Here, in the PC game, it'll randomly choose it, and it will be a ground ball down the third baseline. And that'll put 2 away. Todd Hilton, 0 for 2 today with a walk. And that'll be a 1-1, column 1, row 1. That is a blank. And that'll be a 4-2, column 4, row 2. And that'll be a line drive down the third baseline. And that'll be out number 3. And that will retire the side. So the Giants retire the Rockies in order. No runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Eugenio Velez, Ray Doran, and Benji Molon due up for the Giants. New pitcher on the mound. And they are going to bring in We're going to bring in Ryan Spear. Spear will come into the game with a 4.68 ERA. No wins and no losses. He's pitched 7 2/3 innings, allowed 10 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 6 walks. Taking a look at the stats here for Aaron Cook. He went 7 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, an ERA of a 3.21. So 2, 3, and 4 due up in the lineup for the Giants. Eugenio Velez is 0 for 3, and we do have a couple changes here. Atkins will come out at third base. And actually, Ian Stewart will take over And then in right field, we'll have Seth Smith. Right, and they're going to do a double switch there. Eugenio Velez is 0 for 3. Val is going to take the hit. And that'll be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. That is a blank. And that'll be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. Fly ball back there to Travers. We'll make the catch and put one away. Ray Durham is 2 for 2 today with a walk. And that'll be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 10, the 20 is too high. And that'll be a 2-2, column 2, row 2. Line drive down the first base line to Hilton. He'll make the catch. And that puts 2 away. Benji Molon 0 for 3. Benji going to take the hit. And that'll be a 3-6, column 3, row 6, double question mark, single on a 1 to 10, on a 1 to 11. That is a 3. That's good for a base hit. And Benji is on with a base hit. Strategy roll 14, Randy Wynn is up. Wynn is 0 for 3. Wynn going to take the hit. And that'll be a 1-5, column 1, row 5. That is a walk. On a 1 to 9, the 11 is too high. And that'll be a 6-6, column 6, row 6. Double star 3, ground ball to the shortstop. Tulutsky will make the catch. And that will retire. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, and no errors, and and 2 left off. And 1 left on. We go to the bottom. We go after 8. We're still tied at 0. We go to the top of the 9th. Matt Holliday, Seth Smith, and Ian Stewart due up for the Rockies. They're gonna keep Yabu out there on the mound. Let's take a look at the box score. We are scoreless through 8. Rockies 1 hit. The Giants 6 hits. Will we see some 9th inning magic? 5-1, column 5, row 1. That is a blank. And that is a 6-5, column 6, row 5. Fly ball back there to Velez. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Seth Smith batting a .375. And that'll be a 1-6, column 1, row 6. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 11, the 15 is too high. And that'll be a 3-6, column 3, row 6, fly ball back there to Velez. And that'll put 2 away. Yabu now tired. Ian Stewart is 0 for 1. Bullpen for the Giants. Starting to get warmed up. And that'll be a 5-3, column 5, row 3. Possible error on a throw. And that'll be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. Fly ball back there to Win. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on. The Giants retire the Rockies in order. We go to the bottom of the 9th. John Brokaw, Jose Castillo, and Brian Bocock due up. Ryan Spear done. And they're going to send Manuel Copas out there. Tyler Buzzcore is going to actually go out there this time. Tyler goes out there with no ERA. He's pitched 7 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Taking a look at the stats here for Ryan, he went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, an ERA of a 4.14. John Brokaw, 0 for 3. Brokaw going to take the hit. And that'll be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. It's a range play. Whose range are we checking? And that'll be a 4-1, column 4, row 1. Fly ball back there to Smith. His range is on a 1-4. It's a 4. He'll make the catch. Also take the hit away, and that'll put 1 away. Jose Castro is 1 for 2 today with a walk. Seth Smith is 2 for 3 on his range plays. And that'll be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. Wild pitch. Nobody is on, so we'll roll for the batter. And that'll be a 1-3, column 1, row 3. Double star 6. It's a fly ball back there to Holiday. And with that, the Giants are now down to their left. One more out. Ryan Bocock, 0 for 3. And he is going to take the hit. And that'll be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. It's a range play. And that'll be a 6-5, column 6, row 5. Line drive up the middle. Buskowitz's range is on a 1-2. It's a 4. He can't make it. And with that, Bocock will get on with a base hit. Yabu not going to take the hit, and they're going to bring in Rich Alora. Rich comes into the game with a 2.78 ERA. Runner on first. Strategy roll is an 11. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 1-5. Column 1, row 5. Possible error on a ground ball. And that'll be a 2-2. Column 2, row 2. Double star 1. Fly ball back there to Holiday. And that will be out number 3. And we go to free baseball. We are into extra innings. After 9, we're tied at 0. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We go to the top of the 10th. Troy Tulowitzki, Clint Barnes, and Jorvik Torreba do up for the Rockies. And when we get to extra innings, we let the PC decide on who the relief pitcher is going to be. And that is going to be Vinny Cluck. Vinny will come into the game with a 1.91 ERA. He's pitched 4 2/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, no walks. Taking a look at the stats here for Yabu, he went 2 innings, an ERA of a 2.25. Troy Tulowitzki is 1 for 3 with a double and a strikeout. And that'll be a 4-5, column 4, row 5. That is a walk. On a 1-10, the 20 is too high. 6-4, column 6, row 4. Ground ball to the shortstop, to Bocock. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. Clint Barnes is 0 for 3. Barnes going to take the hit. And that'll be a 2-5, column 2, row 5. That is a strikeout. On a 1-10, the 19 is too high. And that'll be a 1-3, column 1, row 3. Fly ball back there to Lewis. and that'll put 2 away. Yorvik Torreba, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, and he is going to take the hit here. And that'll be a 6-5, column 6, row 5 at the ballpark. And that'll be a 4-6, column 4, row 6, and S+8 to win. And that'll be good for a base hit, and Torreba will get on, and he'll hold with a single. And the rule says if the roll is higher than the ABR rating, the batter holds with a single. Torreba coming out. And they're going to bring in Doug Brenner to pinch run. And Tyler Buskowitz not going to take the hit here. And they're going to bring in Scott Posnick. Posnick batting a .261, runner on first. Strategy roll is a 5. 2 outs, top of the 10th. And that'll be a 6-6, column 6, row 6. That is a blank. And that'll be a 6-3, column 6, row 3. It's a single to Durham. And Brenner will go to second. Does he advance? Does he go from first to... Does he pick up the extra base or go from first to third on a base run rating of a 3-6? That is a 4. And with that, we have a runner in scoring position. Strategy roll is a 20, pickoff attempt. Vinny doesn't pick anyone off. It is an 11. He can face one more batter. And that is a 5-3, column 5, row 3. That is a strikeout on a 1-8. The 6 is in range. Struck him out. And no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. And 2 left on. We go to the bottom of the 10th. And the Rockies are going to bring up Brian Frutenis. And with that, we do need a new catcher. And they are going to bring in Chris Edney. Chris will come in as the new catcher, top of the order. Brian comes into the game with a 1.94 ERA. No wins and no losses. Does have 4 saves. He's pitched 9 1/3 of an inning, allowed 6 hits, 10 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Fred Lewis, 1 for 4. And that'll be a 2-3, column 2, row 3, home run chance at a 0. The 8 is too high. And that'll be a 3-5, column 3, row 5. It's a base hit to Smith. And with that, Fred Lewis is on with the go-ahead run is now on first. Eugenio Velez is going to take the hit here. He is 0 for 4. Actually, he is not going to take the hit here. And they're going to bring in Omar Vizquel. Omar comes in the game with a 2.50 ERA. Strategy roll is a 17, and that is a sacrifice play. Infield at double play depth, and that is going to be a 4, 5, column 4, row 5. That is a blank. And it's a successful sack bunt. Butt down the first baseline to Hilton. And the butt rating is a 4. It's a 16. 1 out, and that'll move Lewis into scoring position. Ray Durham, 2 for 3 with a walk. Infield at normal depth. Strategy roll is a 16. Durham, 3, 4. Column 3, row 4. That is a blank. And that'll be a 6, 6. Column 6, row 6. Fly ball back there to Smith. He'll make the catch. And that is out number 2, but Lewis will go to third. And balls it to F9. We subtract 0 from the base run rating. The base run rating is a 5. The die roll is a 4. And with that, Benji Milan is up. Benji not going to take the hit here. And they are going to bring in Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval going to take the hit. Pickoff attempt on a 1-8. 13. Nothing happens. And that'll be a 4-1, column 4, row 1, hit by pitch. Brian makes it a -5. That is a 0. The 17 is too high. And that'll be a 1-5, column 1, row 5. Ground ball down the first baseline. Hilton can't get it. Will make the play. And that will retire the side. So for right field now, they are going to bring in Nate Schultz, and for the catcher, going to be Alfonso. So after 10, it's no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and after 10 innings, we're still tied at 0. We go to the top of the 11th. It is Todd Hilton, Matt Holliday, and Seth Smith due up. Vinny Cluck, not going to take the hit here. Not going to be pitching in this inning. And they're going to bring in Brad Wilson. Wilson will come into the game with a 4.50 ERA. 1 win, 2 losses, 4 saves, 8 innings pitched, 11 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 6 walks. Taking a look at the stats here for Vinny, he went 1 inning, allowed 2 hits, 1 strikeout, an ERA of a 1.58. Hilton is 0 for 3, and that'll be a 6-5, column 6, row 5. That is a strikeout. On a 1-8, the 11 is too high. And that'll be a 1-5, column 1, row 5, ground ball up the middle. Wilson will make the catch, and that'll put 1 away. Matt Holliday is 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Holliday, 5-5, column 5, row 5. Strikeout on a 1-9. The 3 is in range. Struck him out. Seth Smith, 0 for 1. And that'll be a 6-6. Column 6, row 6 at the ballpark. And that'll be a 6-5. Column 6, row 5. It's a rare play. That's a shallow pop-up to left field that the shortstopper chases it. Doesn't hear the left fielder call out, and they collide. Resolve as a P6 range. We will check for an injury. It's on a 1-3. That is a 1. And Brian Bocock is out for 19 games on the Giants. and he is out for 19 games. And with that, we do need a new right fielder now. So Nate is already, oh wait. Oh, shortstop. Emil Briss will come in. Briss will come in as the replacing shortstop. No outs. Brian Futenis. That actually retires the side, so no runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on. We go to the bottom of the 11th. And it's going to be Randy Wynn, John Brokaw, and Jose Castro due up. Brian Futenis is done. And that's going to be Matt Hergs. Hergs comes into the game with a 12.63 ERA. No wins, 2 losses, 5 2/3 innings, allowed 9 hits, 1 strikeout, and 3 walks. Randy Wynn, 1-3, column 1, row 3. That is a strikeout plus. On a 1-19, the 20 is too high. And that'll be a 5-4, column 5, row 4, ground ball up the middle to Durham. He'll make the catch, and that'll put 1 away. John Brokaw, 0 for 4. And that'll be a 2-4, column 2, row 4. That is a strikeout. On a 1-12, the 7 in range. Struck him out. Jose Castro, 1 for 3 with a walk. And that'll be a 4-2, column 4, row 2, double question mark, single on a 1-11. That is a 9. And Castro will get on with a base hit. And they're going to bring in Clay Temper. Temper going to come in for the pinch run. And Emil Briss adding a 2-14. And that'll be a 3-5, column 3, row 5. That is a blank. And that'll be a 5-3-5, column 3, row 5, ground ball to Brahms. And that'll be out number 3. And they're going to bring in Ryan Rollinger to take over at third. So no runs, 1 hit, and no errors, and none left on. After 11, we're still tied at 0. We go to the top of the 12th, Ian Stewart, Troy Tulowitzki, and Clint Barnes. Wilson going to stay out there. Stewart, that'll be a 5-5, column 5, row 5. That is a strikeout. On a 1-21, that is a 2. Struck him out. Troy Tulowitzki is 1 for 4 with a double and a strikeout. Wilson now tired. And that'll be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. That's a home run. On a 1-5, that is a 1. And that ball is out of here. And that ball is into the stands. And the Rockies crack this game open. It's 1-0 on a solo home run by Troy Tulowitzki. And that is his second home run of the replay. And with that, Brian Wilson is done. And they are going to bring in Merkin Valdez. Valdez will come into the game with a 2.43 ERA. He's got no wins and 1 loss. He's pitched 3 2/3 of an inning, allowed 8 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Barnes is 0 for 4, and that'll be a 2-4, column 2, row 4. Possible error, and that'll be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. Fly ball back there to Lewis. His error range is on a 1 to 8. It's a 4, no error there, and that'll put 2 away. Chris Sanita, batting a 103. And the pitch, and that'll be a 4-2, column 4, row 2. That is a walk. On a 1 to, it's a walk plus. On a 1 to 30, that is a 5. And that'll be good for a walk. Matt Herx, not going to take the hit here. They're going to bring in Jeff Baker. Baker going to take the hit. Strategy roll is a 13. Rockies going to stand pat. Baker batting a 241. That'll be a 5-6, column 5, row 6 at the ballpark. And that'll be a 3-5, column 3, row 5, double star 4. Ground ball down the third baseline to Rowinger. Will make the catch, and that'll retire at the side. So 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. Rocky, we go to the bottom of the 12th. Merkin Valdez, Fred Lewis, and Eliza Falonzo due up. Manuel Copa is going to come into the game here. Copas will come into the game with an 8.35 ERA, 1 win, no loss, 1 save. He's pitched 9 2/3 innings, allowed 17 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Taking a look at the stats here from Matt Herx, he went 1 inning, allowed 1 strikeout, an ERA of a 10.75. Mercury Valdez not going to take the hit. They're going to bring in Dave Roberts. Roberts going to take the hit here. He's batting a 179. Bottom of the 12th. And that'll be a 4-1, column 4, row 1. That is a walk. On a 1 to 17, that is a 1. And that'll be good for a walk. Infield double play depth strategy roll is a 12. And Fred Lewis is 2 for 5. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 2-1, column 2, row 1. That is a strikeout on a 1 to 13. That is a 4. Struck him out. And that'll put 1 away. Falonzo is up. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. It's a range play. Whose range are we checking? 6-2, column 6, row 2. It's a ground ball to the shortstop to Tulowitzki. His range is on a 1 to 3. It's a 1. He'll make the play. We'll check for the double play. The die roll is a 6. It's a double play. On that, it's a 6-4-3 double play. And the Colorado Rockies defeat the San Francisco Giants of a final score of 1-0 in 12 innings. Final line score coming right up. After 12 innings, the Colorado Rockies here at AT&T Park defeat the San Francisco Giants of a final score of 1-0. Rockies 1 run on 4 hits and no errors. The Giants no runs on 9 hits. They were shut out. Matt Hergs will get the win today. He goes to 1-2. Brad Wilson will pick up the loss. He'll go to 1-3. And Manuel Copas will pick up the second save of the replay. Troy Tulowitzki with the solo home run to give the Rockies the win. It's a second of the replay. And let's take a look at the pitching stats here. Matt Hergs, but 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 strikeout, an ERA of a 10.75. He'll get the win. Brad Wilson will pick up the loss. He went 1 1/3 of an inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts, 1 home run, an ERA of a 4.84. And Manuel Copas will pick up the save. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 walk and 1 strikeout, an ERA of a 7.57. So the Rockies will improve to 10-17, and the Giants will drop to 10-18. That's going to do it for us here at AT&T Park. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and a thumbs up on your way through the turnstile. And remember to click that bell notification to be notified of when new videos in the 2008 replay go up. And when I go live with all of the Philadelphia Phillies games. Until then, I'm Yoko 007. We'll see you for another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. Until then, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.